What's up guys, Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review. Today, we are doing a VOD review of Flancy. If you guys have never heard of Flancy, never seen him before, Flancy is one of the most decorated, one of the best Chinese players of all time, one of the GOATs of China. This guy is consistently super high on ladder, doing super well in tourneys. And you know, one of the things that he's done this set is he's actually already locked in his world spot. He won the CN TOC playoffs. So this is what qualified him to Worlds already. And as you can see, he has a very nice history. His other, his crowning achievement is second at Monsters Attack Championship, second to replay, by the way. I mean, NA is how it is. But I mean, you can see a lot of really good performances in here, and literally rank 2 NA right now with only 241 games played. I mean, that is just disgusting consistency. 71% top 40, 27, almost 28% win rate. It's kind of crazy when you just click in and look at his overall AVP, 3.335 across all of his games. I mean, that is just something crazy. So we are going to watch us some Flancy because he also played a kind of interesting game this game that I want to watch. So we're gonna watch this courtesy of the Meta TFT replay library. This is not one that my VOD picker tool. I mean, any game on NA you can watch, by the way. If you don't know, go to Meta TFT, go to their VOD library. You can literally watch any game that has been played on NA. Doesn't matter. Well, most games on NA. They're missing a few that sometimes randomly don't get recorded, but almost any game that has been played on NA you can watch. So yeah, go check it out. Shout out to them. All right, so we start off here, early Viego drop here. So I mean, that's something. Probably not going to be a Viego reroll these days. We do have a Kale and a Zac here, so we could start looking at, powering up Kale, looking for over 9k possibilities. Doesn't look like Flancy's that interested in that. He's just going to field the Gnar here. Definitely feel like we want to hold on to this Callista too here, so I guess that's going to be sell Kale, sell the Sivir here, pick this up. I'd love to also hold the Mundo here, but yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense here. And from an item slam standpoint, we have GS here. Flancy rolled that first augment really quickly. Can we go back half a second to see what that was? He rolled it so fast, man. I didn't even get to see it. I mean, it must have been that bad. But oh, okay. I don't want to go too fast here. Oh yeah, okay. So not too interested in the Titanic Titan Star Pandora's items. Decent enough. But Band of Thieves, I talked about this in a VOD not that long ago, but I feel like this Band of Thieves augment is just too good. I feel like every single time you see this, you just feel like, I mean, it gives you a great full item. There's almost no comp where you're like, oh no, a Band of Thieves, especially in the early game, right? Because you've got to have something in the early game, an upgraded unit. Even in this spot, we have like this Viego that we can hold on to the Band of Thieves. So we can do something like this, play the Callista plus the Viego here, and then, have this be some kind of a board here. We'd like ideally to get in an Euphoria, we just don't have it yet. So I guess we're gonna have to do something like this. And yeah, he is going to sell and level up here. I think this makes a lot of sense. Interesting that he opts to play the Zachary over the this guy here. We're gonna power up, grab the Veteran actually as our power up here for our Callista here, just for now. Yeah, I mean 4% damage. Amp is not too bad whatsoever here, so we'll take that. I guess the more that I see it, the more, like, every early game people just favor heavyweight over Juggernaut because, I mean, it's a team-wide buff, it's flat HP, which is really good in the early game, so makes sense. Pick up Nefiri plus Xin Zhao here, and this is going to allow us to field this 4 Soul Fighter, which I think under a lot of people's opinion is one of the best early games that you can have in TFT. There's just, I mean, you get to play good units, you get a lot of good traits onto this board. We're actually going to rotate into somebody who has something almost equally as good here, maybe even better, with the Udyr on this board, which is giving them so many good traits, but we do end up actually beating them there, which is a big win because, I mean, yeah, it's that guy's board was not weak whatsoever, but I mean, goes to show the power of this Band of Thieves early, just giving you a TG onto the Viego is huge here. And yeah, I mean, this guy just has random LW made. So great start for Flancy here. The other kind of interesting thing is, okay, so we are a strong opener in this spot here. Hopefully we can keep up our win streak here with this TG onto Viego. But what are we actually playing this game? I mean, you can try to play Soul Fighter from this spot, but you're usually not going to have that great of a time unless you find a +1 Soul Fighter. Really, especially after the nerfs now to 6 Soul Fighter, needs to make it to that 8 Soul Fighter to do well. Needs to hit 6 Soul Fighter early and then 8 Soul Fighter really early. And that means either getting a +1 or finding Gwen. And, you know, a +1 just kind of guarantees, obviously, that you're going to get it there. I wonder what we're actually going to go off Carousel here. I mean, if we're thinking of some kind of Soul Fighter, I was going to say Edge of Night, but we can't get that now. So I guess we'll just take Chain here. Yeah, 3-cost Chain. I mean, our other option was 1-cost Rod. So probably not going to get picked up there. What is going to get picked up is a Neferi 2, which is really nice. We can level for the Atrox here. And I mean, we have a great opener here. The upgraded Soul Fighter with the 4 Soul Fighter has really, really good odds of win streaking in this spot. And so the main question is, one, you know, what can we do to maintain our streak here? Just play strongest board position for everybody. Make sure that Callista is in a good spot. It's kind of interesting. Some people will do this Callista positioning, well, they'll you know, try to part the Red Sea, you know, put some units on one side, some on the other, kind of like the Katarina, the Caitlyn positioning, all this kind of stuff. I really feel like in the early game, it's not that necessary because you do actually get a lot of value out of just Callista, you know, impaling a unit and then getting that that overkill damage. You know, if she kills a unit, the spear continues going. And so if you aren't getting that overkill, sometimes you can just waste damage. So like I really like positioning like this, where Callista's always going to get maximum damage. You know, she's going to throw her spear here, and if there's overkill, it's going to fly to backline. I think this is like perfect. And as you can see there, we get a little bit of overkill damage onto the backline. I think this is actually the ideal when you are playing around Callista, and all I'm saying is Flancy agrees with me personally. So yeah. We also decided to play the Violet on this board for now. I like getting the Vi in just for a little while here. You know, getting the Sunder on your board is pretty nice. Though the Aatrox is going to be kind of our dream. It's kind of funny. I mean, obviously, like, we can play the Aatrox for now, and then we can level up for Heavyweight. We can't really play the Koboko right now because we have Mentor in, unless we want to burn an entire power-up remover. I mean, I guess we're literally one Udyr off of having a 4 Mentor early game, which would be kind of insane here. Pick up Gangplank, and now we have GP Pair if we want. And you can also see we're holding on to a lot of stuff here. Item slam-wise, I'm looking at a Morello here. Could be Warmogs. I mean, Warmogs plus Bramble is a great combination. He is not going to make... Yeah, he's going to make the Warmogs. Okay. So we're going to make Warmogs here. Yeah, I mean, it pairs really nicely with the Bramble here. Get a bunch of HP to scale up your armor. And also, I mean, Morello Callista is not really something worth writing home about. I think it's also really interesting. So look at our bench here. We're holding on to multiple outs in this spot here. We're holding on to the mech board. You know, if we hit 7 mech, that's something great. We're also holding on to this Mentor setup. So if we hit Mentor, we're in a good spot. And then we're also holding on to, you know, 4 Soul Fighter. So we're opening ourselves up to a lot of different high rolls. You know, this is known as a reroll heavy patch, but if you can open yourself up to, you know, 3 different 4-cost lines, surely we're going to high roll on one of them. We could natural, you know, a Ryze for Mentor. We could natural a Karma for mech. We could natural, you know, a Set for Soul Fighter. So a lot of good stuff here. Let's see what we get Augment-wise here. Bronze for life, I mean, I don't know. These days, not that excited about it. If we think we're playing mech, we can take plot armor, kind of like what we talked about last video about getting that extra armor and MR onto the mighty mech is really nice. Don't really think it's to be Crown's Will. I mean, it gives you a death cap slam if you want it, but it doesn't really do anything on our board currently here. So I doubt that is going to be the pickup, but we will we'll see what we end up going for here. My kitty is also on my desk being very cute. We roll exclusive customization. I mean, it kind of looks like we're just looking at plot armor here as like an okay option, a nice default here. I mean, I don't love backup dancers that much, or exclusive customization really. Rolls and finds last second save, which I would prefer over all of these options. So interesting. I'm kind of curious, had we hit like a really bad option in that slot, what we would have taken. Oh wow, he's actually, yeah, okay, I love this. So we do fit the Koboko, and then we power remover and go for a different power up here. We go for a Solar Breath. I mean, that's one of the things that, I mean, in the last VOD review that we did of the Korean player who was a mech one trick, we kind of saw this a lot. Not necessarily burning power-up remover in that case, but being really open to moving power-ups around a lot. I think last patch, people were really not open to this idea of removing, burning a power-up remover to play for tempo, because they were like, well, I'm going to play Jinx, and if I can't find Gather Force, if I can't find best defense, my game is going to suck. But now, I mean, power-ups are a bit more balanced, unless you're digging for something like a Noxious Trap, and stuff like Gather Force is still really, really good, but they're a bit more balanced, and so you don't necessarily have to dig for like one specific power-up and use all your fruits to get there. Even if we play Mighty Mech, it's pretty easy, especially if you, hey, don't bite that, kitty, especially if you hold on to some extra mech units on your bench to end up getting the mech pilot. And also we do natural that Jarvan, which gives us a really nice high roll towards the mighty mech board, towards potentially a mentor board, which I mean is not as common these days, but I mean we're holding mentor units. Flancy is clearly open to it. Tier open here. I mean we're gonna take a rod open here. We're going to take tier onto a Yasuo as well. I mean I think this builds into really nice potential, I mean, Karma items or Ryze items, really, either one. We can, make the Archangel and feel pretty good about it, though, obviously. Not going to do much on the Callista. Gonna level up here. This is Kale. One, it's Duelist onto our Viego, who's doing a great job here. And two, it's just a pretty good unit. Getting the Amar Shred off of Kale is really nice here for stuff like the Viego. Any unit on our board that's doing magic damage is going to appreciate the Amar Shred. Rotate into, honestly, not a bad board here out of this Barcode player, but we just kind of clear them. So nice pickup there. Pick up a Koboko. Obviously, I mean, that's 4 Kobokos, but I don't think we're going to level 7 pivot back into, some kind of Janna reroll. Take body change was a really nice option, and then just move the Warmonks and the Bramble Vest over to the Koboko. So just playing good quality TFT, and we'll see if we can keep our streak here. He actually, weirdly enough, moves. He kind of parts the Red Sea here to potentially try to snipe this Callista on the enemy board, and I think we're gonna be fine either way. The Koboko tanks here. Yeah, I mean we don't end up sniping, but it ends up being a good fight for us regardless. Our board is just very, very good with the Koboko too. There's a Volibear, which is interesting, and yep, that's going to come in here. We also hit the Samira earlier, so that's once again another thing that's pulling us towards maybe Soul Fighter. I mean, this game is kind of making me dizzy just watching it because of the sheer number of outs. Flancy's not, saying that we're going to go like one route or the other here. Also, I accidentally clicked on somebody. That's another Jarvan there pulling us in this, towards the mech option. I mean, I feel like we're naturally all these different forecasts, and the question is just, what are we actually going to play here? We could drop the DB here, which you can kind of make in all of these lines. You can throw it onto Volibear in, either line. You can put it onto Samira. So we are going to, make the DB because, you can basically play it in everything, even like Mighty Mech. It's good because you can eat it, you can feed it to the mech. So all of these lines can use a DB. So nice kind of flexible slam there from Flancy here. And let's look at our last augment here. So, I mean, it's never Howling Gale. Howling Gale I really only like in like Kog'Maw, and aside from that, bleh, not really interested in taking this. Pair of 4s, kind of, I mean, it's good in some of the lines, right? It's going to be good in Mighty Mech. You're just going to play the Karma and the Jarvan, obviously. It can be good in Soul Fighter, just means you're not able to play the Volibear. If you're playing for Mentor comp, you're usually playing Ryze plus Jarvan, means that you could also cut something else. I don't love it because it does really, I mean, so much of this game has been keeping our options open for this roll down, and so I can't imagine that we're going to take something that's going to really limit our options here, because that basically means we have to play Mighty Mech, and, we built a DB for a non-Mighty Mech unit, so I mean, unless the mech is going to eat it, so I don't think it's that. He does leave it as his middle option here, so he likes it over the other options. Find Cloning Facility, which I think is a nice generic option. Item Collector. We have the extra TG, I guess, so that's something. The God's Eye opens. Yeah, probably not here. I guess it's going to be one of these two. I'm leaning Cloning Facility here, but we'll see. He's thinking about it a decent bit here, potentially going Item Collector here. And all right, we level here, and I'm just going to do this on regular speed because this is a lot to do here. And you can see Flancy even, not doing an insanely quick go through his entire roll down here. He's even holding a Kali. I don't know what line he's holding a Kali. Yeah, he sells the Akali. He's like, okay, yeah, maybe that's a little too flex here. Rolls again here. We pick up the Dr. Shmundo here. Find Varus, though I don't know that you actually even care about holding Varus here. You want to hold this Udyr pair, but you have to sell something for it. Yeah, Flancy gonna stop the roll here, saying, you know what, I've hit enough for now here, and this is the board that I'm gonna play for this round, and then I can finish my roll down next round. How is he actually going to hold this Udyr? Is he just not gonna hold Udyr pair? I mean, it seems crazy not to here. I mean, yeah, he's still not looking at holding it now. He's actually just holding the Viego here to keep Soul Fighter open, and he wins this fight. I cannot believe that he won this fight here. All right, let's finish our roll down here. Okay, this is actually a really big turning point in the game here, hitting the Volibear too. So, for those of you who are watching this spot and you're like, oh God, I'm so dizzy. I'm trying to figure out like what line to play. What you need to do in these spots is allow the game to kind of give you the direction, and then once the game gives you solid direction, like something like, hitting this Volibear here, then you go from it. So we've hit the Volibear. What does that mean? We're going to play Volibear on our board 100% because we have a TG, we have a DB. We need to play this Volibear on our board. What does that mean? Well, this means it cuts down all of our options to comps that can play Volibear. Now, the kind of funny thing is even 7 Mighty Mech, theoretically you can play Volibear on your board if you find the Yone, but only if you find the Yone. It's much more likely, I would say, that we're going to be playing either Soul Fighter here or that we're going to be playing some kind of, 4 Mentor setup with Volibear. So, I would be leaning now more towards a 4 Mentor setup here with the Volibear. I think that's the most reasonable line to play from this spot. So just kind of use that direction to the direction that the game has given you. And I mean, there's Jarvan and there's a Braum here, which I don't know how we're gonna fit all of this. Ow, kitty! Ow! 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 Don't bite me! Don't bite me! On this board here, and I think we're gonna figure it out. But you can see, we're still. Oh my God, he's still gonna hold on to the Karma. This is unknown levels of flexibility. We are going to fit 4 Mentor in here. We're going to get the rest of this board in here. We're going to get the Jarvan onto the board as well. So we're going to play this board for now and then move the AD items over to the Volibear. So yeah, I mean, a pretty, honestly, like slow pivot from Flancy, but he's doing this very accurately. He powers up the Volibear, takes 2x KO after 2 takedowns, stun enemies within 2 hexes for 2 seconds, in 35% damage. Yeah, wow. In my head, this one's not very good. Anything that says you don't get a power-up until 2 takedowns is pretty rough, but you can see here, sells off the whole bench. Karma's out of here. We're locked into this being our line in this spot here. So I just think, and I mean, this was not like a game of like, wow, look at the APM of Flancy. He rolled it down disgustingly fast here. I mean, the other factor is this guy's playing on, like 200, 250 ping or something like that. So it's not like he can even roll down that quickly. I mean, it's just literally not possible because he's playing from China. But you can see now we're going to roll a little slowly here. We're, I mean, no flame, but we're gonna slow roll a little bit here, pick up the Ryze here, opts to make blue buff JG as his slams. Really interesting from here. I thought for sure we were gonna see like an Archangels, but I mean, the upside to blue buff JG is it does allow us to make a double slam here. We don't have to get stuck on any components here. And we're still win streaking, right? 14 streaks, so being strong, continuing our streak is of the utmost importance here. So that is a continued 100 streak here. And now we're on our way to level 9. Gonna move power up here over to Ryze. Gonna take efficient. So this is blue buff efficient Ryze. This guy's gonna be casting really, really quickly here. He's also doing kind of an interesting positioning here where he's moved his Yasuo and his Udyr so that they're gonna get blocked in slightly. A few ideas here. One is that Udyr's gonna throw his fire onto the front line here, and then he's gonna start wrapping around. This means he's very unlikely to get focused and die quickly, because if you guys don't play this comp, Udyr provides you heal cut with his upgraded Mentor ability. It provides burn and wound, and the second Udyr dies, that heal cut drops immediately. This does not last time at all. It does not say the units in the circle get wounded for 5 seconds. No, the second that circle drops, you lose the wound, and so you really want to protect your Udyr here, and that's what he's doing. I mean, look at this positioning. Perfect example here is we fight somebody, or we fight this minion around here, and our Udyr gets trapped here. Okay, this is crazy as well. We got a prismatic orb here and got golden item remover, which I mean is crazy with the TG, because now we can bounce TGs around. I mean, I'd really like to actually take another TG here, thinking, I mean, I don't really want to make something like a Nashor's here just because it's such a low damage option onto Ryze here. I'm thinking more like GS perhaps, GS TG. But then what are you left with? You don't really want to make Morello in this comp. Evan's Shroud, maybe? GS, TG, Even Shroud, and hopefully we get, like, I don't know, Gunblade or something? This is a really tough one to do. All right, we're going to move power up first here. Just grab Keen Eye here. We don't have any MR Shreds, so it's pretty solid, though. He's actually going to fetch, he's going to look for another one here. Goes back to efficient, which is kind of hilarious, and now we're out of power-up removers. We also have 6 reforgers, by the way, so a lot of stuff that we could do. Okay, so Spark is going to get made, so we're going to take that MR Shred there. Gonna make the Nashors too, so he is gonna make Nashors. Starax, okay. I mean, these are some different slams than what I was talking about, but he does end up making the TG at least. But yeah, he opts to not make the GS, he opts to make Nashor's Tooth here. I was a little hesitant about Nashor's in this spot just because I feel like it's like double mana gen. These are 2 mana gen items onto Ryze, and you have efficient. I feel like this Ryze is just going to cast a lot but tickle people. The upside though is you do get that GS made, or not the GS, but the Stair Axe made onto the bear here, which is really, really nice. You know, my idea was like make what would end up being like a Gunblade on the bear, which is kind of awkward. So we're gonna level up here. This board has been kind of weird. Like we haven't had Mighty Mech on it up until now, and it looks like we're still not gonna have Mighty Mech onto it. We're gonna opt to fit Executioner onto it instead of Mighty Mech, just because, I mean, yeah, what does Mighty Mech really do on this board? A little bit of extra frontline, but honestly, the board's tanky enough already, and the Executioner onto Ryze represents a pretty big increase in damage, especially because, I mean, if you think about JG plus Nashers here, I mean, this is, what, 55% crit, and so getting some extra crit from Executioner, another 25%, bringing us up to 80, that's going to make it, you know, a lot more likely that Ryze is going to crit on his autos and is going to get that Nashor's Tooth effect here. So yeah, this is the board for now here, but he does find the Senna. The Senna is really nice here because then you get to play both. That is obviously the ideal on this board here. All right, we rotate into a pretty strong Xayah board. Will this be our first loss here? Ryze doing good work. I think it will be. Bastion, Xayah, what is that for? This is the Love Sherry here. Can I actually, I have to go click on, I want to go find this board while we do carousel here, and then I'll look at what we got here. Yeah, 6 Bastion, Xayah board here, 1 trillion items, weirdly enough, just from Care Package, Latent Forge, and yeah, RFC, Kraken's, Xayah. That is a wild board out of Love Sherry. I almost want to go back and bot review that one. All right, blue buff now. This is very smart. This is very smart, Flancy. The idea is we take GS off Carousel here, and now we move that blue buff over. So now we actually have a Ryze that's going to do a lot of damage with the GS. And then we can just move the blue buff up to Braum. You never feel bad about having blue buff onto Braum. I mean, this was probably always the idea from Flancy is, you know, put the blue buff onto Ryze, allow that to carry you through the mid game, and then the dream is to move that up onto Braum, one of his best items. You know, just getting him casting is really important. I'm imagining this is Sword, I guess just Edge of Night here to keep the Braum alive here. What else is there? He's thinking hard about this. What, like IE or something? Wow, he's reforging, really digging for something. I'm not sure what he's digging for here. I mean, he finds a Protector's Vow, which looks really, really nice onto the Jarvan. Yeah, I mean, that's a great option. It still doesn't have Armor Shred on this board, right? So he could have been looking for like Even Shroud or something like that as well. But gets something good enough here in the Protector's Vow here. I mean, that was a really, really nice usage of those Reforgers here. I mean, I had almost forgotten about the fact that we had them here, but he uses the Reforgers here, puts himself into a good spot to build double Vow onto this Jarvan, who is going to be very, very nice and tanky here. And also just, I guess, kind of to not forget about it. I mean, we're just duping a bear here, and the double bear is doing decent work. It's an extra body on the board. It's some extra damage we have here. I mean, this must be Braum item, right? I guess the Edge of Night now. I guess you could actually move one of these DBs over, yeah, and make BT here. Yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense. Then just DB up to the Braum. This looks perfect. Yeah, love this. I mean, this looks really good. And we're also just so confident in our spot. I mean, we're not going to roll on 9. I mean, what are we rolling on 9 for? A random Braum to? I mean, let's just push 10 here. Find, we can get Lee Sin onto this board. I mean, we're also holding on to 5 Ryzes. I mean, maybe we cap out with Ryze 3 because we do need to beat this Xayah board, who's, I mean, very quickly destroying the lobby. I mean, she's 3rd place here. I mean, looking like potentially can go top 2. Looking like potentially, if we don't cap it up high enough, we'll lose the game here. Okay, we move the other Protector's Vow, one of the Protector's Vows, over to Braum with the idea of just, he kind of needs it to get him casting quickly. And oh my god, this is perfect Braum positioning here. Oh, I thought he was going to ult onto the Gwen. I mean, he still ends up hitting the main tank there, which is really nice in the set. So yeah, we just clear the Soul Fighter board from Mochi here. Love Sherry wins another fight. This person is just clearing the lobby, and I mean, no need to level early, no need to jump the gun here. We are going to push level in good time next round here, but you know, no need to push too early here. We can just continue on with this board. I just want to shout out, this is not seen as like an S tier line, even really like an A tier line. This is a line that really sees very little play. Once again, this is a reroll patch, and so for someone to be playing Mentor Ryze, I just think it's so, I mean, to such success, right? I think it's just such a testament to Flancy's skill level that he can just tempo into this line and clear the lobby here. Mochi ends up winning against us, and Love Sherry loses to probably our clone. So rest in peace to the Xayah board here. Oh my god, and Mochi actually just says, you know what? There's no way I'm winning this game. Flancy's pushing 10, so I'm just gonna FF, and it's a dub for Flancy here. So I mean, just a immaculately played game. I loved his itemization selection. I loved his line selection. I loved how flex he was going into before too, in a patch, in a set where people are not thinking about being this flexible. It's just a beautifully played game. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you stayed this long into the video, boom, I'll give you the Daisy cam. You want to look at the camera, Daisy, for all the nice viewers who stayed this long? Oh, she's a little shy. One more. Aw, so sweet. Such a good kitty. Aw, she's here being annoying while I do my video. All right. Thank you guys for watching as always. If you like the Daisy Cat, give this video a like. If you want to see more Daisy Cat, subscribe and comment about if you like Daisy Cat. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.